So welcome back to my channel. This is Dom, and probably the final sort of well, I guess installment of the assembling of my Infamy Germanic army. Pretty much done now. There's just a few more units which I'll show you shortly, and I probably just have maybe one more infantry unit to paint up, but you've seen plenty of those already, so I'll probably next up show the whole army en masse, so you can see what it is, and also point it up because I don't know how many points it is. So one of the unique things in the Germanic army is the wailing women. So you can, as a support option, take these wailing women, put my teeth back in, who act as a rallying point behind your warriors. And the idea was that basically they, in history, they were the women of the tribe who basically said, "Oh, look, look what if the Romans beat you and you get to our families, look what they'll do to us. They'll ravish us, and woe is us, and all this. And how can you shame us, men?" As a way of turning the men round to send them back into the fight. And so I quite like the touch. So I think you can only have one, but I bought the Wailing Women pack from Foundry, and you get 6 ladies. 6 was too many to go on the base, so this is the main one I'm going to use for. But I had 2 extras, so I've just put them together as another one. So I can either use either of them, or this maybe could just become another deployment point, whatever. But they're kind of fun, and they're just another one of those little uniqueness of the army, which I like. So that's them done, and now on to some more. So next up, another unit of the German, well, these are the Batavian deserters from the Roman army that went back to Germany and fought with the tribes against the Romans. They are, I think they're exclusively, these ones are Victrix Roman auxiliaries, and I've basically swapped in some weapons from the German pack and some heads from the German pack just to give a bit of variety. So there's a couple of German shields in there as well, just to sort of mix it up a bit. Quite pleased with how this unit's turned out. It should be quite an effective unit in Infamy, hopefully. Little 8-man unit. It's treated as a regular unit. Yeah, quite pleased. Another unit down. And at the back here, you've probably just seen this is I think it was a Warlord's figure that was given out with one of the supplements. I forget which now. It's Kenneth Williams playing Caesar, which seems very apt given all the stuff that's been going on with Infamy and the 2 Fatalades and Friends of Ken. So there you go. Nice little figure. Just did him up just because I had him, and he may well take, might be useful in some of the scenarios in Infamy. So that's more units done for the Germanic horde. So next up is a unit of the Germanic Roman auxiliary cavalry. These are the Batavians, I think it's called, who rebelled against the Romans and went back to fight with the tribes. And I think they're probably quite an effective heavy cavalry unit within the rules. We'll see. But I picked up these are Victrix figures. I just picked up a couple of sprues on eBay. Gave me rather more than I needed, so that gives me a mounted general. Which I don't know why are based on a 2-man base, because why not? And they're okay, they're all right. The positions of the arms, like this guy here, he's a bit sort of, I don't know, it's weird. He looks like, I mean, I haven't ridden a horse for a long time, but I think I'd have a hard job holding onto a horse with just my thighs, the way he's riding that one, because he's got a shield in one hand and a spear in the other. I mean, this guy's more natural because you could say that his arm is now holding onto the reins. But this guy with his arm out, just no. Anyway, whatever. They're nice enough figures, and they've come out okay, so they can join the ranks of the victorious, soon to be victorious, German hordes. So here's the next unit of, I made these into the elite warriors, mainly because I'm not sure I'm going to need more than one unit, and but I thought it might be useful. So this is sort of odds and sods, bits left over. So what I tried to do with my army was try and subdivide them all, and I had them all planned as certain units. And then I bought a couple of extra sprues of various things, just an extra kits to get some new warlords and that sort of thing. And then I was able to make a couple more units, frankly. So this one, annoyingly, came out as 9 figures. I just didn't have another one. So that's fine. I mean, I've done this 9, and basically what I'll do is, I've got plenty of spares, so I can always take one of the spare heroes or one of the spare other unit men and pop him in this unit just to make this the elite unit. Not so keen on a lot of these figures. Some of these you may notice if you've done a lot of warlord figures. These are this one, that one, that one, that one, that one, are all warlord. In fact, that one is too. Warlord figures, and they tend, I think I mentioned this in an earlier video, they do just packs of standard barbarians basically, and then they give you a few variations in terms of heads and shields, but not that many. So I bought just literally a couple of sprues on eBay just to give a bit of variety, and when they came I thought, well, these are exactly the same as the Gallic warriors I've got, and they are basically. So and the, you know, you don't actually get enough different heads to change every single model, as you know, so there's going to be a lot of similarities with the Gallic warriors, which I thought was a little bit tardy. And the guy who I bought from said, well, actually it's the same with the Dacians, it's basically the ancient Britons, exactly the same method, which is a bit slack if you ask me. But anyway, they're okay, and they'll join the army. They probably won't, these ones may not see the field that often, but you can never have too many barbaric warriors, can you? And again, on the 3D sabotage 3D basing or movement trays, sabots, had a few problems with these. Mentioned it in a couple of the comments. After I did that initial video talking about them, I found that quite a number of them had actually warped. And you can see on some of the videos they're not sitting completely flat. Now, I contacted the guy who makes them, and he said that doesn't normally happen, but he says when you first get them, before you've painted them, soak them in, you know, if they are slightly warped, put them in a bowl of warm water and then flatten them down, you know, under a weight or something, and then they should be fine. And he said once they're painted they should be absolutely fine. Now mine warped after painting, so that was weird. So all I've done is basically, because I don't want to put it in a bowl of water when they're painted, so I've literally just held them over a boiling kettle, over the nozzle of a boiling kettle. Then once they're warm and therefore quite soft, I put them under actually I think it's a very heavy weight in the kitchen, and just squash them down. Now don't try and manually bend them, they snap. I know that for a fact. One of mine did snap when I was trying to straighten it out. So yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, they're relatively cheap and they were quite effective. So I just found warming them up and putting them under a weight, and then they seem to be absolutely fine after that. So, but just a word of warning if you did buy some of those Sabotage 3D basings. There you go. I've got one more unit of Romanized Germanic warriors to come. And my German project is done. So here we go, there's my final unit, for now, of my German infamy army. Another unit of Romanized Germans. These are a mixed bag, mainly warlord figures actually. This one's a warlord metal, these are metals. That's a warlord plastic. These are Victrix plastics, I think. So actually the Victrix fit in reasonably well with the Warlord ones, which is good. Not that I'm a big thing about this, you know, how big certain models are versus others. It just doesn't bother me particularly. People are different sizes. And they're a bit shiny. That's my only thing with the varnish that I used. New spray can of varnish, and I'm wondering whether it was mislabeled because it was supposed to be matte, and that definitely looks a bit shiny. Might have to do something about that. Anyway, final unit done, and pleased to get it done. I think I've enjoyed immensely doing these Germans. They've been so easy to paint up, and you know, the results are so good that I'm, you know, happy with the project so far. Here we go again, so far, because I'm already thinking, well, maybe I could do with a few more cavalry. I think I've got enough warriors. I think because I can interchange the elites with the regular warriors and the Romanized guys with the elites, and you know, I can fiddle around. I think I've got enough base troops now to give me most of the options that I'd want to do. So the only thing, I've only got the 6 Germanic cavalry and the 6 Romanized German cavalry. Whether I'm going to need any more, I don't know. Should be having my first game this coming week, hopefully. A bit of garden gaming again, if the weather holds up. Hopefully we'll give it a go, and so I might have a better idea about what kind of force composition I need for Infamy by then. But certainly enough here to be going on with, and as I say, I've really enjoyed the project. So I'm going to say my Germans are done. So I hope you enjoyed this latest and probably final update on the German project. It's been fun to do, and I hope you've enjoyed the journey along the way. Hopefully now we can move on to some actual games and see some gameplay of the Infamy rules. That would be the next thing. Anyway, I hope your projects are going well. I hope you're doing well, and I hope you're staying safe, and I hope you're getting some games in now. I see more and more people commenting that they're getting to have some games, either social distance games at suitable venues, or outdoor games, or even in some countries with masks you can play face to face in halls and what have you. I'm not sure our club will be reopening for a little while yet, despite the fact the rules are definitely slackening up, but at least while the weather holds good, we're able to do some outside gaming, which has been great fun to do, and yeah, very satisfying. So anyway, stay well, stay safe, share, subscribe, like, all that kind of goodness, and I'll see you again soon. This is Dom, signing out.